Hey everybody, Playtendoguy here, and we're in the real hot summertime over here in Britain, and that means we're halfway through the year. Yes, no sooner than the year has started, it's summertime already, so that means another top 10 games of the year so far. 2019 has been a pretty interesting year in gaming, as we're now seeing the current generation of PS4 and Xbox One start to slow down a bit in anticipation for the release of PlayStation 5 and Project Scarlet next year. But that doesn't mean there hasn't been any good titles this year. Quite different, in fact. So without further ado, let's begin the list. Number 10, Tetris 99. Early 2019 saw the release of two brilliant free Battle Royale games. We had Respawn's Apex Legends and Tetris 99. Whilst Apex Legends was a really fun team-based take on the Battle Royale genre, for me Tetris 99 tops it just for being so different and a whole lot of fun. It takes the tried and tested Tetris formula and turns it on its head, with you playing against 98 other players to see who can be the last one standing. I must admit, when I first heard of it, I had to check to see if it was April the 1st, but damn, once getting it in my hands, I've had a blast since. As unlike other Battle Royale games, you're constantly in the heat of the action. I'm not running from place to place, hiding and shooting people, as it's incredibly refreshing. The only real downside of the game is that it's only exclusive for those with a Nintendo Online Service subscription, which does block a few folks from playing it. But that being said, it's easily the killer app the Switch Online service needs after the so-so collection of NES game subscription members service receives. Number 9, Kingdom Hearts 3. Easily one of the most eagerly anticipated games of all time, a title that has spent years in development, Kingdom Hearts 3 finally released in January this year, and the wait was worth it. Following Sora, Donald, and Goofy as they tried to put a stop to Master Xehanort and the evil Organization 13, the game's story is still typically baffling for the uninitiated to the franchise lore, but to the gameplay now, and this is where Kingdom Hearts 3 really does shine, taking many different mechanics from older titles as well as a load of new ones to make for an incredibly versatile and fun combat system that's easily the best in the series. The series' iconic Disney worlds are here, and very impressive visual showcase indeed of the popular films, meeting up with Buzz, Woody and co from Toy Story to sail in the mini open world of Pirates of the Caribbean are a complete joy, and do make up for the rather disappointing worlds of Frozen and Big Hero 6. Altogether, Kingdom Hearts 3 was a satisfying end to a rather long wait. Number 8, Mortal Kombat 11. The most glorious and over-the-top violent fighter returned this year with yet another content-packed and blood-soaked brawler in Mortal Kombat 11. NetherRealms continues to offer plenty of content with an incredibly fun and cinematic story mode that messes around with this MK timeline with great results. The towers offer plenty of ever-changing challenges that always keep the game fresh and new, to the game's huge and labyrinth-like crypt that's full of secrets and unlockables to keep you coming back for months on end. The fighting is still as tight as ever, with plenty of brutal moves to pull off, stunning stages to fight on, and best of all, one of the most detailed tutorials around. Whatever console you play it on, you're treated to a real graphical showcase of what your console can offer, and yes, that does mean the Switch version. Mortal Kombat looks set to be one of the greatest fighters of this generation. Number 7, Days Gone. Critically panned by most critics, Days Gone is probably one of the least well-reviewed Sony first-party titles for the PS4. But that being said, I really do think the critics got it wrong. Yes, the game may be a bit repetitive at times and the technical issues are a shame, but the developers at Bend Studios have constantly been fixing the issues as well as adding loads of free DLC to the game. But the main game here is just so darn fun. The stories of how the Freakers came to be and how protagonist Deacon St. John continues his life without his beloved wife is really interesting and well thought out. There's real heart here that is lacking in many other games. The open world of Oregon is absolutely beautiful, full of lush scenery from dense forest to glorious snowy mountains. It's easily one of the best looking titles on the PS4. Gameplay-wise, Days Gone does borrow a lot from some of the best games in the business, but does enough to make it stand out. The game's iconic freaker hordes are a thing to behold, with hundreds of the things on the screen at once. Days Gone is a lengthy experience and a top-notch adventure that's well worth taking a trip to Oregon for. Number 6. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. For years now, many gamers have been pleading for a new Crash game, and in 2017 their pleas were answered with the wonderful Insane Trilogy collection of remakes. But next on the list for a remake was the classic Crash Team Racing, and this time Beanox was tasked with the challenge of bringing back CTR, and my word did they deliver, including all the CTR stuff, like its incredibly fun story mode, characters, tracks and carts. This game also includes all tracks, characters and carts from sequel Nitro Kart, as well as a few more bits from 2005's Tag Team Racing, to make for a sort of best-of compilation of the series, including an incredible graphical makeover, but most importantly keeping the same top-notch and unique boost drift mechanic that makes for a rather stiff challenge. Nitro Fueled also includes so much content, and it's incredibly impressive that the game will receive loads of free content in the future thanks to the seasonal Grand Prix events, which are entirely free with no microtransactions or season passes in sight. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is easily one of the most generous games of this generation that brings back the glory days of when you could earn content in games instead of buying your way out of it. A very refreshing change indeed. Number 5. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. From Software returns with a surprising partnership with Activision to deliver another hard test of skill with Sekiro. Set during the feudal Japan era, you play as the one-armed wolf as you try and find the divine heir. Sekiro offers a great change of pace to the Souls games by feeling much more faster and offering a greater maneuverability, thanks to the wolf's prosthetic arm which allows him to attach himself to ledges and fling from one bit of building to another. Combat is fast, brutal and tough as you come up with many threatening foes. Whilst you only have one weapon, your trusty katana, you do have a bevy of skills and abilities to help you out. The most helpful of these moves is the death blow, which sees you strike an unexpected foe with a devastating attack that depletes a bar of their health. There's plenty of other flashy moves I won't spoil, but I want to warn you that if you go in expecting to play it like Dark Souls, then you'll be dead straight away, as Sekiro is a much different beast, requiring you to block and parry attacks whilst retaining your posture bar. Clashing Swords is a deadly, intense dance, but Sekiro is easily one of From Software's finest games to date. Number 4. Judgment. For the past few years now, Sega's Yakuza franchise has really found a footing in the West, mainly thanks to the brilliant Yakuza 0, and ever since then, we've seen plenty of titles in the Kamurocho set crime series. But Judgment is a rather big departure for the Yakuza developers RGG Studios. Instead of following Kazumakiru and the happenings with the Tojo clan, we're now playing as Takayuki Yagamari, an ex-disgraced lawyer who's now a private detective trying to solve the mystery of various gang members' grisly deaths. It's quite a different approach for the story, but it works really well with many likeable and deep characters, as well as a thrilling and tense story. Judgment also includes arguably the best fighting system in the series since Zero, with swappable styles and plenty of over-the-top moves. Fighting is an absolute blast. The new gameplay styles that go with the detective sequences are a bit of a mixed bag, but the game makes up with it with a huge amount of side content and mini-games to keep you busy long after the credits roll. Judgment may just be the best RGG Studios game this generation. Number 3. Super Mario Maker 2. Arguably, the Wii U's greatest and most innovative game was Super Mario Maker, a game that really did show off the capabilities of what the ill-fated console could do. Many wondered how a sequel could work on Switch, if it was possible, but Nintendo proved folk wrong with this amazing Super Mario Maker 2. This sequel builds upon the original with loads of new tools and items to make even more wacky and creative levels. Adding templates from Super Mario 3D World is a lovely surprise, and its inclusion and the gameplay tweaks it includes really is a nice change of pace. Easily the most surprising addition here is the game's story mode, which follows a rather basic premise of building Peach's castle back up. You do this by completing well over 100 levels and using the coins you earn from it to build the castle back up. On my world, these levels are truly incredible and ingenious. From levels where you can't jump to clever puzzle solving key mazes, it easily tops all the levels that have appeared in the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Adding to a rather meaty experience is the ability to play an endless supply of user-created levels that will certainly grow over the coming months. At number 2, we have Devil May Cry 5. Capcom's impressive hit streak continued with the return of the beloved Devil May Cry franchise, and after the bitterly divisive but utterly unappreciated reboot DMC, many thought the series had seen its day. But in March, Dante and Co. made their glorious return in easily the greatest action game of this generation, a non-stop action roller coaster that's a blast to play, with a rather fun story full of wit and great selection of characters that make for a very memorable experience. But damn, the game's combat is where it's all at. With 3 different playable characters, each with vastly different combat styles, there's a lot more to combat than just pressing a few buttons. With upgrades, new weapons, and stylish ranks, combat is like a brutal dance of weapons and monsters that has to be timed to perfection and performed with such grace and style. The game's lengthy story isn't just only what you get, with a few other bonus modes such as the return of the bloody palace mode, which house a devious challenge indeed. It's great to see Dante return after all this time, so here's hoping to Devil May Cry 6. At number 1, we have Resident Evil 2 Remake. Capcom loves their remasters and spent a lot of this generation porting loads of gems from yesteryear to the PS4 and Xbox One. But one of the more requested titles to remaster was the beloved PS1 classic Resident Evil 2. But instead of giving us a simple remaster or port, Capcom's given us a full-on remake. And my word, Capcom's really outdone themselves here with a wonderful, terrifying and utterly thrilling ride through Raccoon City. Resident Evil 2 Remake still follows Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield as they try to make their way through the zombie-filled streets of Raccoon City, whilst also trailing through the maze-like police station. The game is terrifying. From the first few steps to the final action-packed moments, Resident Evil 2 will frighten you in many ways, from its brilliant sound design, detailed environments, and most importantly, the dreaded man-mountain that is Mr. X, who will stalk you all over the place. In my eyes, this is perfect modern Resident Evil, delivering plenty of scares whilst also offering a small helping of action on the side. Capcom should also be applauded for the amount of extra modes included once you completed the game, so that's why Resident Evil 2 Remake is my game of the year so far. And with that, the list is over. Tell me what you think in the comments section below. Why don't you even tell me your favourite games of the year so far, or what you're looking forward to for the next 6 months? As there's a lot to look forward to, like Luigi's Mansion 3, Astral Chain, Star Wars Jedi Order, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Death Stranding, and so many more. Just tell me in the comment section below what you think. But till next time, thank you for watching my video, like, rate and subscribe, and until next time, happy gaming. Bye.